are spheres flying around, everyone should know this, that are man-made. This one is not. This is a very ancient item that was around at the time of the last ice age. There's at least a dozen videos, and many more than those have been seen, and they seem to be picking up some sort of anomaly in either cosmic radiation or an event, or Earth magnetic field and biophysical instability, because they're all going around remotely. Listen up, everyone. May 9th of 2001, we did the National Press Club disclosure event that kicked off the whole modern era of disclosure movement globally. And so we are going to do an anniversary National Press Club event at the same ballroom at the National Press Club on May 8th. And that'll be from 3 until 4:30 in the afternoon on Friday the 8th. And then we're going to do on the next day at the ballroom of my condo building, the Cheselton, we're going to do a whole event there for a whole afternoon with new material and whistleblowers. We'll have more time to unpack it. And then a fundraising dinner after for those of you who want to attend, who can help us fund everything we're doing. We're putting out somewhere on the order of about $1 million a year for researchers that are former military and whistleblowers, and moving people around and doing events for this and getting materials to White House and Congress and other law enforcement and whatnot. So the fundraiser is to do that. But the big event on May 8th will be at the National Press Club. You're invited to come. And I hope everyone who is listening will try to come in there. We can seat about 350 people. So that's kind of the limit for that ballroom. So I hope to see you there. It's going to be very important, because one of the things we want to do is review the whole disclosure movement and what we've done from the 90s till now. But we're going to feature some of the original testimony from 2001, and then have new testimony, and then we're going to actually unveil the details on this extraterrestrial artifact that was recovered in Colombia, South America, in Buga, Colombia, called the Buga Sphere. And because we have just returned from Mexico City, where I addressed about 8,000 people at their national auditorium about this. And that is a genuine article. It is no hoax, and it's 12,500 years old, and almost no one in America knows about it. And it's the only time I can think of in 80 years when something like that was a flying machine. I mean, it wasn't a craft, it was a remote one, and there's at least a dozen of them filmed now. We will be showing those images when we are at the National Press Club, and the science behind it, and also what the physics are behind how it's operating, because it's basically the same physics of how a UFO goes. Mm-hmm. Now, the age of it precludes it being a modern knockoff, which we know exists. There are spheres flying around, everyone should know this, that are man-made. This one is not. This is a very ancient item that was around at the time of the last ice age, when there were all kinds of earth changes and calamitous events that quickly terminated the ice age. But we know that these Buga spheres seem to all be getting activated all at once now, because there's at least a dozen videos, and many more than those have been seen, and they seem to be picking up some sort of anomaly in either cosmic radiation or an event, or Earth magnetic field and biophysical instability, because they're all going around remotely, because they don't have any manned components, but they are sensors. They're fiber optics, microscopic fiber optics in them. We've done the metallurgy that shows it's an alloy that doesn't even exist now in the aerospace industry. The carbon dating on the resin of the material in the little 31 portals around the equator, dated to 12,560 years ago. And we have CAT scans. Now, what we're hoping to do also is to do a micro CT. It's a new technology that you can use on machines to see every single bolt and screw. Of course, they're not bolt and screws in there, but every little item inside this thing without cracking it open. So and then after that, eventually we'll probably do a fiber optic examination, but that would be later. So this is what we're planning to do. I'm hoping the micro CT will be done before May 8th or 9th, but that has to be done in Mexico, where the Buga Sphere is being held by Jaime Maussan and his team. And if we could, I would bring it to the National Press Club, but the security situation around that would be fearsome, to say the least.
Yeah.
So,
security and all that.
Oh boy. Well, and not having the cabal seize it. We already had a cutout for the cabal, who is a cartel member embedded within the Mexican federal police, who tried to steal it when I was there with Congressman Burleson in June. Mm-hmm. And of course, you all know when we announced that online on TikTok, they took down our TikTok channel. It's gone. So that's, we know when that happens, I think someone said, who works for CIA, said, you're over the target when you're taking all the fire. So, so that's, but it's a very exciting development. So we're going to have also some, like I mentioned, some new whistleblowers who were, a couple of them, Green Berets, who were at special operations where these events occurred. Some of them man-made UFO events, and some of them the ET information. And one of the things that we have to emphasize at the National Press Club, which I think, from what I'm hearing, unfortunately, Bob Bigelow, who had set up Bigelow Aerospace as a cutout for cabal operations, that he has been advising the president to do a partial disclosure, or a soft one, soft meaning fake, where they would leave out a lot of that information. Now, let me explain strategically why this is so important. If you leave out the fact that 80% of UFO events that have been seen over the last, since the late 1950s, are in fact human activities, using man-made reverse engineered spacecraft and aircraft, but involved in things like drug running, animal mutilations, human abductions, child trafficking, etc., all of which we can prove. All of that's being handed over to law enforcement federally. We're going to disclose this at the National Press Club. Now, the reason for that is that if there's, the president has ordered the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, to investigate this and release all the UFO files. But I think what they're going to be encouraged to do is to do sort of a fake disclosure. I hope not, but we have to be prepared for that. And we have to have the truth out, because the full truth is what the public needs to know. Otherwise, people are going to think, oh, well, all these horrible things that the aliens have done, that have actually been done by humans, would be the foundation for World War III and an interplanetary war. That's been the plan of this covert organization since the 50s, and we're in the final stages of this now. So we're doing this National Press Club event. We need everyone there. We need all of you to share this video link with your friends and social networks and YouTube networks. And we want everyone there in person. And then we're going to do a webinar. It'll be streamed online on our YouTube channel. And then the event at the Chastleton the next day on May 9th, the actual date of the anniversary, that's going to be a 4-hour event. That will be a webinar that you can participate in. So I hope everyone will sign up very quickly for that. Like I said, there are 350 seats in the National Press Club. We're holding out 50 for media and major podcasters. And by the way, if you are media or a major podcaster, please contact Raven to get on the roster to come in, as our guest, because we want to have maximum coverage of this in advance of what we know is going to be released by the Secretary Hegseth and the White House. So this is a very dynamic situation, and we want to put all the new information out, and also do a whole assessment of the situation that does not leave out the human part of it, because if we leave that out, it leaves a wide path for the false flag operations to happen. Right. Because most people, I'll tell you this right now, talking to the guys who are currently on retrieval teams and that down ET craft, and also have recovered the man-made ones, our man-made ones have become so advanced that they're virtually indistinguishable. And that is dangerous, because what that means is the people who are new to this subject, like the president, like Congress, like the Secretary of War, Mr. Hegstead, they could be completely deceived by a false flag staged operation. And so we have to expose all of that. And by the way, if you guys want to see that, you can get this. This is the briefing document for the president that we have made available on our in our store. And then the other one that I think you should have and also should be giving to your members of Congress and people is this one. And it's an illustrated history of disclosure, and it's all a lot of the crash retrievals and new whistleblower testimony. Some of them involve ET crash retrievals, but some involve the retrieval of man-made craft. And it shows both, so you can get a sense of what one looks like versus another. Everything the media does wants to portray everything going on out there as alien or Chinese. They're leaving out completely that the crown jewel of all the UFO stuff going on has been centered in the corporate aerospace and contracting world in the United States of America. And that is something we have to put a spotlight on, not to rabble-rouse, but to warn people, don't be deceived. It's like the Who, we won't be fooled again. Well, guess what? We have been fooled again and again and again and again. They were talking the Vietnam War then when they said, don't be fooled again. But we have been. You know, we've been fooled by 9/11. We were fooled by those idiotic 20-year wars in the Middle East. We've been fooled by, you know, the whole COVID panic that was completely done inappropriately, deliberately, to see how much control they could exert over the world population and economy. And we've been fooled for 80 years on the UFO issue. And it doesn't matter. The UFO researchers, for the most part, have been told, and I know this for a fact that I've had a member of Congress, more than one member of Congress, tell me that people like Elizondo and others said, don't look at the man-made UAPs and UFOs because you're going to get in trouble. Really? When that's the most important thing to look at, because those are the ones involved in criminal operations that are victimizing Americans, but victimizing people from all over the world? No, ma'am. All of this is going to come out at our National Press Club event. It'll be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, as they say. And it's something that we want everyone to help network so there's maximum exposure for that. Because I'll be honest with you guys, there has to be a true narrative to the counter narrative, right? And I was just talking a couple nights ago, 2 a.m, till with Carol Rosin, who was the right hand to Wernher von Braun, who you all know invented the rocket for Adolf Hitler, and warned on he was dying of liver cancer, I believe, and told her that they were going to hoax an alien threat. This is 1974, 52 years ago. And that if it wasn't stopped, they would do it and run the whole game all the way to the end, and then would stage, you know, like a Project Bluebeam type operation. And the only way they could get away with it is that the technologies whereby they would do a hoax like that are kept secret. But this is exactly the area of technology and investigation members of Congress have been threatened to look that they shouldn't look into and been waved off of. Now we know that law enforcement, certain key members of Congress, and certainly key people senior in the White House know that we have our own UAPs, right? I can confirm that that is known. I won't say who and how, but that is confirmed. But the public needs to not trust the mainstream media or the government to tell them the whole truth. I think the Disclosure Project, which we founded for this express purpose, is the one. And remember, the Disclosure Project has led to the whole disclosure movement globally that has a million different parts in here and there. But I think, you know, we need to be the gold standard that puts the whole truth out, because most people, they want to be, you know, safe, and they want to be politically expedient, and they want to be able to have the doors open to big media and big podcasters. And I can tell you, if you expose the whole truth on this, you're blacklisted, you're banned. And that has happened to us since the 90s. You know, so I think we need you, the people out there, to help be a sort of an army of folks out working the social networks and YouTube and friends and websites and putting this information out.